You are listening to the Car Pro Insider Podcast, episode 8, and we're going to dive into the car sales professional's personal website and my top tips for your personal website. Let's do it. Hey, what's up? I'm Robert Wiesman, and I have helped car sales professionals from around the world sell more cars by building their personal brands, attracting high-quality car buyers, and becoming the go-to car guy or gal in their marketplace. So what does it take to become the car sales professional that people are lining up to do business with? This is the Car Pro Insider. Hey, welcome. What's going on? This is the Car Pro Insider Podcast. This is the podcast for automotive sales professionals who are looking for proven and effective strategies, outside of the box, creative, nobody else is doing it type ideas, and the latest and greatest resources that are going to help you rise in the automotive sales industry. I am your host, Robert Wiesman. I have worked with sales professionals like yourself in the automotive industry from all across the world, and I'm so glad that you have taken the time to dial me into your headphones today. First time here, thank you for checking it out. Make sure you subscribe after you listen to the episode. Leave a review if you would. I'd really appreciate that. If you've been here with me for the other episodes, welcome back. So glad you're here. Much love. Today, we're going to jump into your personal website. Now, I've worked with websites with salespeople all across, right? Have a great time doing that. I've blessed to, see a lot of what's working, what's not, tweak things, try new things. It's been a blast. So that's what we're going to jump into today. I'm going to give you my top tips for, coming out of the box with a personal website that's just done right, and it's going to give you the results. It's going to have a purpose, all right? Don't have to make the same mistakes that I know I made back in 2011 when I've launched my first Salesperson personal website. All right, so let's jump into this. Look, so as I mentioned, in 2011, is when I launched one of many of my personal websites, because then I started doing other focus sites and such out there to also enhance it. But it started, of course, with my personal website. And it became like my number one source for business, basically for leads, right? Very fast. And even better, it made me instantly different and stick out in the marketplace, which that's the name of the game, is different. Is never is to do it better than the next person. It's just to do it different, right? As I said in a previous episode, if you've been tuning in here, that the website, it's your launching pad for your personal brand, for your business, is your website. It's your hub, right? You don't own or control the audience that you acquire through Facebook and things like that. I mean, because you had to get quite savvy, right, to make sure that your posts are showing up to, your entire audience. In most cases, it's only a few select will even see your posts in your feed, right? But the website, that's all yours. All those tools out there are great, but those are just the social, those are just outside of the house, right? Your home is your website. The object is to get them back, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to give you some of my top tips that are going to help you get a website off the ground that's done right, and that's going to start delivering you the results that I know that it can right off the bat. So we're going to talk about your domain selection, right? The URL. When you pick your website, that's number one. So I understand that it's going to be very tempting for you to grab a domain like johnsellscars.com or johnthenissanguy.com, but trust me when I'm telling you that you do not want to go in that direction. By all means, get yourname.com. I have robertwiesman.com. Get your name or some variation of that name. If it's not available, add a dash in the middle, even do a .net. Really, it's not, it's ideally you want to get the .com, but even if you got to get a .net, it's really not that major of a thing, right? Just some kind of variation. Now, here's the reason why this is take it from me. Look, I messed up doing this, and was big in branding myself as the Hyundai guy, right? And I had the yourhyundaiguy.com, and I made it into it was one of my another one of my personal websites. But it was, it was my Twitter handle was so much behind me. And like, once I stopped working there, you have to do a lot of rebranding, right? And why put myself in that situation? Why not? But the beautiful thing of a brand, when you build a personal brand, it's yours forever, right? It sticks with you wherever you go. That's why you want to make it not so focused, like I did with Your Hyundai Guy. Once you explore to get for some more opportunities that come through to you, whether in automotive or not in automotive, which these opportunities will come when you start executing like this. But you want this to your brand to be able to transition over to that, to what you're doing next, as opposed to having to rebuild. So definitely you want to get some variation of your name. In most cases, you can find some variation of your name by mixing some things up, or even adding a middle initial or full middle name, things like that. So that's number one, is your domain. Don't brand it around the makes and models, the factory you're working with, or anything like that. Try to just keep it your name by all means. Number two is design is king, right? Now, a lot of people have argued this with me, and everybody's heard it, that they say content is king, content is king. I talk about how king content is, right? And how important it is for building your brand and building your business within a business in automotive, but it is not. Design is king. And let me explain. If I land on a website and they might have the best content for what I'm looking for, searching for at that moment, and I land on there for the first time, and the user experience is whack, the design is unprofessional, and it just looks like a joke, right? I'm not even going to give it the opportunity to consume its content. You get what I'm saying? So design is like, you can't judge a book by its cover type thing. Design is what we see first, the visual. Like, once we land on it, that's where we're going to build they build a first impression of you, right? That's where we build our first impression of other businesses and other people, by when we first landing on their website. Nobody wants to do business with somebody that you land on. It's just like, it doesn't work right. It looks unprofessional. It's very poor designed. Like, that makes you look bad, right? You can easily avoid bad design by working with the right person. You know what I mean? And all you got to do is look out there and find, when you are getting your website created, like, go to like every auto dealer website out there and basically tell your guy, like, I want my site to look nothing like any of these. It's basically what you want to say. But seriously, you just want to find some websites that you like. Some of the design is friendly to you, that you go to them often, and it's always a good experience for you, right? So design is king. It's what lets us want to go deeper and read and find out what you're talking about and get to know you more about you. Right. Number three is the dealership inventory feed. Listen, this is something I talk about with salespeople all over, right? Is you don't want to feed in your dealership's inventory feed, right? First off, the VDP, the vehicle display page that your dealership has with your inventory on it, is probably an example of, most cases, bad design, right? Not user-friendly, not a good experience for the shopper. So A, you don't want that associated with you. B, you, again, as we spoke about in earlier, I think it was episode 2, is you don't sell cars, bro. You sell you. And the more that you start displaying cars, and you actually have VDP, like display pages of them, you're just like every other dealership, and then you start to sell cars, and that's when it's all going to come down to price, right? If you don't sell the car, you're never going to have to sell the price. You get what I'm saying? It's all about selling you. Now, what I do recommend that you do is, and this would be a whole other episode, is create make and model landing pages for all your latest, at least most popular, like it'd be robertwiesman.com/2016 Hyundai Sonata Maryland or wherever, like, something like that. And then I'd have a landing page with some photos, that probably that I would take or even get from the web, a little review of it written by me, sounding like me, having my voice, right? And then also a video embedded on there. And that video might not even be one that I made, right? It might be, or it might be one that I just embed from YouTube, that's from Motor Trend or something like that, that's got a lot of social proof and that people like, and that it builds credibility for that make and model. Also, you can embed reviews and testimonials from people. They don't even have to buy from you, but just like take people's tweets and embed them that they're on there talking about what they think of the car, their review of the car, like a real owner somewhere, saying how much they love it or whatever. But anyway, you don't need the dealership feed. And second, it's just one thing, like going to them. It's like that, like I avoid getting them involved in anything that I'm doing when it comes to building this website, because if I get them involved, then I give them the opportunity to tell me, no, shut this down. You can't do this. You can't do that. It gets intimidating sometimes for people when they see you doing this. So just keep it to yourself. Right? And don't worry about the dealership's inventory or anything like that, because you're not selling cars. You're selling you. Number 4 is it's not about you, right? The website, your about page, everything, it needs to not talk about what you do for people, what your services you have. It basically needs to talk about the problem that your target audience is having. Does that make sense? It's all about when you're talking about your about page. That about page is about why this website is valuable to the customer, to them, to the reader, and what they can expect from there and what's in it for them. That's what your site is about. So go into it like that when you're writing the copy for your homepage and your about page and everything. It's never about you. Like, they don't give a crap. Not for nothing, you're probably a great guy, probably a great gal, but not for nothing, they don't give a flying you-know-what, all right? They care about them. Make the site all about them. Your about page, when you're talking about it, it's not about you. You offer a little bio at the end that they can click on it, if they can read it if they want to, but make the top and the headlines and everything all about the customer, all about that prospect, your target audience, that target prospect you want. You should know their problems. You should know what's valuable to them, what they're going to like, what they're not going to like, and tell them about that, right? Tell them about how awesome they are going to feel with it, solve their problems. That's what it's about, is them, not you, right? And 5, the last one is, this goes back to the last couple episodes we've done on content. Last one will be where we showed you about making content, is a blog with active content, right? I don't think I got to go into the importance of content and what content does anymore. It's, the content is creating content on a consistent basis that answers questions, solves problems, informs, educates your target audience and your target market, your ideal client. That's how you position yourself as the go-to car guy or gal in your marketplace. Once you do that, it's on, right? So a blog with active content is a must. I see so many of the guys that do have one, but even if they either don't have a blog, or if they have a blog, they're not consistently publishing on it. And if you need help with how to easily create content for your blog, if you have one now, listen to the previous episode at robertwiesman.com/7, and that's what you go through there. We walk you right through a couple different content creating strategies to help you easily do it, no matter what your skill level is. All right, so I'm gonna run back through them real quick. It's number 1 is your domain, right? Your URL selection. Don't think you got to go with don't go with John the Honda Dude.com, right? Stay away from that. Just your name, some variation of, figure that out, .com, .net. 2, design is king. If your design sucks, I'm never going to experience your content that could be gold and exactly what I'm looking for, right? So that's 2, design is king. 3 is dealership inventory feed. Stay away from it. It's not what you want to have. It's not how you create a website, personal website, that's going to rock and be a huge contributor to your sales, right? 4 is it's not about you. Remember, it's all about the customer. All your content on your site, from your homepage, everything needs to be speaking to their problem, to all about what's in it for them, not what you do, what you offer, right? That's number 4. 5 is, again, then active blog with content. If you need some inspiration and some ideas on content, just hit robertwiesman.com/7. That was the previous episode here on the Car Pro Insider. That's what we went through. All right, that's it. I hope there was some kind of value. I'm going to go more into websites and the individual pages and what goes in, what each one should have and goes into each one to make it a kick-ass personal website in future episodes. Listen, if you like this content, head over to robertwiesman.com. You can listen to all the other episodes, read all the blog posts and stuff there. Bunch of free resources for anybody in the front line in car sales that's trying to make it happen. All right, I'm so glad you took the time to chill with me here for a hot second. I'm going to see you next week.